Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today we're going to make a half and half rainbow spiral. Start by smoothing out all the wrinkles and then decide where you want the center of your spiral to be, and it can be anywhere on the shirt. Give it a little pinch, and then using the microwave splatter guard and a hemostat, I'm going to create this spiral. If you don't have the splatter guard, you can still do the same exact process. So give the hemostat 3, 4, 5 twists, and then with your opposite hand, pull the shirt out and around, creating the pleats. The splatter guard just holds the pleats flat, so it creates a nice surface to add your dye to. And it's the closest thing to making a pleated spiral without actually making a pleated spiral. Go as far as you can using the microwave splatter guard. Then you want to unclick the hemostat, hold down the center of the spiral, and gently wiggle the hemostat out. I like to secure my spirals by using rubber bands. I just find them to be quick and easy. You could use kite string if you want. You could even use sinew. It really is just a matter of preference. And these particular rubber bands are my favorite rubber bands in the color purple. And I do have links down below in the description box for everything that I use for tie-dye. So go ahead and check that out. So what I'm doing right now is I'm tightening up my spiral and I'm just finishing it off. So you got all these loose tails sticking out. What I like to do is go around and around, creating more pleats, pulling on those loose tails and tucking them into the nearest rubber band until when I go around they don't do anything anymore. Then I know I have a nice tight spiral, so when I have to pick it up, move it, flip it around, whatever, it's not going to fall apart. If there are a few little loose tails sticking out, that's okay because your ice barrier can pick those up. So right now I'm creating my ice barrier out of the silicone cake molds. I like to use these because they're washable and reusable. But if you don't have the silicone cake molds, you can use foil or cardboard or just about anything else you have around the house just to hold everything together. Now it's time for the fun part. We get to add the dye, and this is where the half and half part comes in. So I'm going to do one big pie piece in black and then another big pie piece in gray, and then I'm going to split the whole other half of the spiral into the 6 colors of the rainbow. And I'm inspired by this particular pattern by watching Mio Faustino. He does his with liquid, and so it's a little bit different, but I was looking at that thinking, that might make a cool ice dye. I'm going to give that a try someday. So finally, I got around to doing it. If you're brand new to tie-dyeing and you're unsure about adding your dye, let me just give a couple tips and tricks here. So this is ice dyeing, and this is considered dye under ice, where you add the dye directly to your fabric. You always want to take your dye down to the center of the spiral, but you don't want to go super duper heavy-handed right in the center, whether it be powder dye or liquid dye, because you don't want to turn it into a muddy mess. You want to make sure you get a little bit of dye down there though, or else you'll have a white center. So you just have to really figure it out. What I always try to do when I'm making rainbows is have my primary colors meet in the middle, because hopefully they will make secondary colors. If you use the secondary colors and have them all meet in the middle, they typically will make brown. And when tie-dyeing, brown happens, and we've got to get away from freaking out over brown. A little bit of brown is okay. When adding my yellow, I usually make that piece of pie just a little bit bigger than all of the other colors because it has a tendency to always disappear on me. Does that happen to you guys? And another thing about ice dyeing with yellows, they don't dissolve all the way. I'm not exactly sure why, whatever the components are that are in them. You want to check your back, make sure that you have saturation. Just because you see a little bit of powder still on there doesn't mean that it's not saturating into the fabric. I hope that makes sense. I give the project a quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure, and then I add my ice. And I like to add enough ice to where I just fill up the silicone cake molds. And then it's recommended that you set the project aside and let it batch at 70 degrees or higher for at least 24 hours after the ice melts. I let the project batch for the full 48 hours, and see what I mean? Where'd the yellow go? So you want to start by using cold water. That's going to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fabric, and then increase your water up to hot and rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. From here, I take it to the washing machine, and I like to do hot water cycles using Kirillon. Kirillon is a professional textile detergent. And then I like to do a final hot water cycle using Millsoft, and Millsoft is a professional fabric softener. And then I'll put it in the dryer, and I'll iron it, and we'll come back and we'll see the results. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our half and half rainbow spiral after it's been washed and dried, and I think the shirt turned out super fun. I love making spirals and I love making rainbows. They are just my happy place. So the silver lining decided to give up, and that's okay. It's fine. It's kind of like a little bit of white space, and you know right now I'm all about it. I don't mind it. The better black did great. Each black sort of has its own color that it splits down into, and better black is looking like it's leaning towards the purple, which I like that. And then you see that little sliver of yellow is left, which makes sense. If you're going to use turquoise and yellow, they're going to mix and make green. And then when you add a bright green to the mix, you're going to have a lot of green. So overall, I'm extremely pleased with the way the shirt turned out. So what do you guys think? Please leave me some comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing!